I'm Erin O'Byrne and welcome to Everything EFL podcast. I'm passionate about serving teachers and I offer training for schools and institutions whose language teachers need a little refresher, a change of mindset and some super practical ideas to put into their classrooms straight away. There is no one-size-fits-all lesson plan, but you've got a friend and support system in me. I can help reduce your overwhelm, give you some teacher inspiration, and improve your work-life balance. How? With some solid advice, takeaways you can try out immediately, and some much-needed teacher love, because your well-being is important too. Are you ready to make small changes one step at a time and remember how amazing you are? Let's go! Hello, you gorgeous teacher. If you're one of my lovely regular listeners, welcome back. If you're brand new to Everything EFL, you are most welcome and I hope you stick around. Last year, I inherited a beginner's class. It was the first one I'd had for years, and one of the first questions I asked them was, can you talk about yourself? And every single one of them, without fail, said something along the lines of, I here 5 weeks, which of course I reformulated to, I've been here for 5 weeks. And then I thought, okay, well, let's not stop there. Teachable moment. Let's go with this. Let's teach them the question, how long have you been here? Present perfect, not usually something you would tackle with beginners, and to be honest, I didn't. I just taught them the chunks. Now, if you're a long-time listener, you know this is going to be a lexical episode, especially if you have read the episode title. But if you're still not convinced it's a good idea, or you're still not sure what the lexical approach is, or, you're just not really sure how to start, or maybe you've dabbled in it a bit, but you're not really sure where to go, here's a little pop quiz for you. Number 1. Of the 3,000 most common words in English, what percentage of them have a grammatical or lexical structure? 86. Number 2. What percent of native speakers' speech is derived from prefabricated structures? That's right, 55 to 80%. Number 3. Do you know what an institutionalized phrase is? It's pretty much a phrase that we use so often it's become part of speech. For example, have you seen my, or I've never blank before. Number 4. Are grammar and vocabulary separate entities, as course books would have us believe? No, because of everything I just said. But we continue to teach individual words. We continue to teach vocabulary and grammar as completely separate things. I'm sure you've had students who've been studying English for a long time, but they can't have a normal conversation. Now, there are many reasons for this, but I do suspect that one of them is they've been taught a very grammar-heavy curriculum which doesn't really allow for any kind of expression, and it hasn't focused on the kinds of phrases we need around that grammar, the words and phrases we need to fill the gaps between the grammar. Grammar-based teaching is it's like building a house, but you have no carpet, no curtains, no furniture, no kitchen appliances, no bath, no shower. You have a shell, but you can't live in it comfortably. Also, if you're just looking to make little changes in your teaching that are not too overwhelming and try and make things a little bit more engaging and interesting for you and your students, the lexical approach can help with this. For you, it's about looking at language a different way, so you'll just see things differently and it will affect and influence and impact the way you plan and teach, but not in such a way that it's completely overwhelming or you have to make massive changes. It's more of a shift of mindset, like I said, a way of looking at language. When you see the difference, your students will see the difference. Also, if we're talking about chunks, the brain processes and decodes chunks faster. The focus is on real-world conversation and communication. Again, going back to the student who's been studying English for years but can't hold a conversation, imagine how it would impact their English learning. Think about all the great little nuggets of language we can find, even in an audio script at the back of our course book, or that we have created ourselves with ChatGPT, with a few personal tweaks, of course. The lexical approach transformed the way I approach language, and my students seem to really respond to it well. In fact, tomorrow I have an advanced class and we're going to analyse a transcript and we're going to do some chunking, and I'm really excited because I know what their reaction's going to be. It's going to be one of surprise. It's going to be, there's going to be light bulbs going off. It's honestly, it's amazing what one small little noticing task can do to your mindset and to your students' mindset and the way that you see language. I've been doing some teacher training, as you know, and one of the teachers said this week about the lexical approach after I broke it down for them. They said they felt empowered. What an amazing word. I was so happy she said it. It really touched me because it means that what I'm teaching has real value and real impact. And I want to give that to you now. Now, last week I talked about my methods and mindset course. The first module is about you, but the second and third modules are about the lexical approach. We break it down into 2 sessions, vocabulary and grammar. And in the second session, I give you a simple but comprehensive overview of the lexical approach. We're just going to stick to the things you really need to know. Again, my goal isn't to overwhelm you. It's just to give you the basics, to give you a good starting point. And I'm going to show you maximum 3 really simple things you can do if you want to implement the lexical approach into your teaching immediately. Not adding too much to your prep time, if any, and not causing you too much or any stress. And then in the third module, we focus on lexical grammar, and I show you 3 ways you can implement this. Again, very simple, low to no prep ideas using the material you already have or creating something super quick on ChatGPT. But, that also means you can tailor the materials to your students, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in this session. I'll give you maximum 3 practical tasks you can get into straight away. You can get into breakout rooms and work with other teachers on these tasks. It's a true workshop. It's not just me talking at you for 90 minutes. I would like you to practice and, do real tasks that you can do in your very next class. And, you can even bring your class materials along to the session and use those to plan so that the next day they're ready to go. Just makes sense. Anyway, there's a link in my show notes, and it's a link to the waiting list for the course, which begins sometime at the end of September. But if you're on the waiting list, that means you will get a big discount, and that's not going to happen again. Now, there is no obligation to do anything or buy anything once you're on the waiting list, but you'll just get an email with a very special price in the near future that only you will get. This also means you will get the chance to shape future courses I do with your feedback and also learn a hell of a lot along the way. And the price of this course is for nothing considering the value that you will get, including a totally new, fresh perspective on looking at language and teaching it. All my links for communication, for social media, to do with the course and everything are in the show notes. And I would love to hear from you. How do you feel about your teaching at the moment as it stands? Would you like a little bit of weekly or bi-weekly support? Follow the link and join my newsletter community. I'll always give you a bit of advice, I'll help you with your mindset, and you'll always have something you can try in class the next day, or just have a little boost of self-confidence, because by God, do teachers need that. Thank you for listening, my darling, gorgeous teacher. As always, I am your servant. Contact me if you need anything, if you want to talk, if you have any opinions or anything you want to express, any questions you have. I'm always there at the end of an email or a DM. And as usual, have a safe and peaceful week. Look after yourself and share the love. Bye.